Assalamu alaikum and hello everyone. We are from Group 1 and will be presenting about our case study analysis on Silverbank vulnerability and risk during cyber attacks. So for our team members, we have myself, Mohamad Yusri, Mohamad Zaimy, we have Siti Balqis binti Jalaluddin, we have Siti Nurhuda binti Mohamad Azli, we have Mohamad Azmin bin Mohamad Elias Maniom, and finally we have Ahmad Najmi bin Hawnifah. In this case studies, there are several parties involved in Silverbank, with Santiago Ore, the general manager, and Marcelo Tapia, the IT and organization director. We also have Diamond Security and Ivan Ramirez, the co-chief operations manager. And the challenges faced, there are plenty of tribulations described in this case study, in which the trouble in promoting the product to clients that lacks understanding about the vulnerability of IT system and risk control. On top of that, we also have the lack of interest in information protection system, with your operation encountering minimal times of severe cyber attacks, leading to lacking of historical data on the damage caused by cyber attacks. And on top of that, we also have limited budget for cybersecurity. At the end of the report, in regards to this case study, risks lingering around the case will be identified, impact of cyber attacks will be identified, response of Silverbanks to cyber attacks, and their business continuity plan will be analyzed and evaluated. Silverbank is a well-established organization which has been established for more than 80 years, with loads of products such as credit cards, debit cards, personal loans, and insurances, which are the key of Silverbank, and they aim to be the best global platform for private banking and wealth management. Diamond Security is a recently established organization which has been established in at the end of 1990s, and they provide IT security and products that are catered to the client's needs and the vulnerability of their organization. Diamond Security was introduced to Silverbank through Santiago Ore, which after attempts upon attempts of scheduling meetings with Marcelo and Ramirez from Diamond Security, and despite the efforts, the majority of the board members of Silverbank turned their back on the importance of IT security. Now, unfortunately, on 15th September of 2020, a cyber attack has occurred upon Silverbank, which at the time the organization lacks in IT security. On the same day, Santiago Ore has scheduled a meeting with Ramirez to seek help against the cyber attack. And they have come to agreement with Ramirez to take immediate action to safeguard confidential information whilst protecting the bank's money. Diamond Security has conducted an audit and came across multiple vulnerable points in Silverbank's software security system. Now, at the end of the crisis, Diamond Security acts as primary IT security provider for Silverbank, and Ramirez has established to be a specialist in IT security for Silverbank, and also suggested that Silverbank conduct an external audit proactively and implement ISO 27001 standards to ensure bank securities procedure is in compliance with global security standards.
We have four risks that can be identified. First is a reputational risk, which alter a company environment without prior notice. Unpredictable outcomes signal the presence of risk. The bank reputation is tarnished, so they might be able to push consumer to different bank. Second is data security risk, which hackers stole crucial information about clients. They act like they are the Silverbank's employee in order to gather for the crucial information that would help them with their tasks. Third is cyber risk. In 2015, Silverbank was stunned by cyber attack. Employees received emails from unknown or attackers from variety of bank. In 2017, the installation keystroke logos by fraudsters was pretended to be employees happened. The function of it to send the data to offender which the system is recorded by the virus. Fourth is financial risk, which is attackers aims to access the client's account so they may withdraw or move the money. The impact can cyber attack have on financial institution or bank is personal installation will be stolen that may affect the bank reputation. This is because they don't trust the service that the bank provides due to the personal information was taken without them realizing and feeling it was unsafe. Second is financial harm. This is because if nobody wants to buy the product, they will face losses. Even if the product is still being introduced, the bank image will suffer to a public skepticism about the product efficiency.
Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. My name is Mohamad Azmin bin Mohamad Elias Maniom. Matric number is 277182. Today I would like to talk about the cyber attack that have been faced by the Silver Bank before the previous one in the year of 2020. Silver Bank had faced their first cyber attack with a serious consequences in the year of 2015 when a band of hackers sending email to the employee at a different bank. By using the bank manager name, it's made the email appear come up from a reliable source. The impact of this email is affected the computer with a Trojan horse virus when the file is downloaded. The virus malicious code spread throughout the institutional network, internal infrastructure, and took over the bank security cameras. Not only that, after the client had transferred or withdrawn money from the ATM, the criminal registered operation and the PIN number of those clients. The bank manager only realized that the security of a bank had been compromised when the victim had communicated with the bank about the irregularities. An immediate action had been taken by the manager of the Silver Bank, by contacting the security provider to fix the problem, but however, the financial damage is already there. In my opinion, I think the Silver Bank response to this disruption is not really appropriate because it seems like a last-minute action without any earlier response or a proper strategy to handle this kind of a situation. Not only that, in my point of view, the damage that had been faced could be minimized if the earlier action or response had been taken in the first stage of the cyber attack. The second cyber attack have been faced by the Silver Bank in the year of 2017, which in the form of internet network infected by the criminal. This made the criminal pretend like an employee. When they get access into the network, the keystore logger had been installed into the employee computers. The cyber criminal able to get access into the financial resources of the bank when the client introduced their PIN number into the computer. The problem could be identified when the following client complained and a long investigation had been taken. From this event, it made the bank to reinforce the security system and provide a data protection training to their employees. In my opinion, I think the training of a data protection to the employee could make the employee more knowledgeable and skilled on how to keep the data safe and how to handle this kind of issue or other different disruption in the future, while it also could minimize the impact and the damages to the organization. In 2018, the bank does not face any problem related to computer network, but the problem arrived in terms of the ATMs. The confirmation system that linked the ATM with another financial entity had been blocked by the robber through using the malicious code. If the ATM's card had been used to the other bank rather than the bank issued the card, the operation approved by the system that linked the issuing bank. This may enable the manipulated ATMs to provide the request money even the transaction had been rejected by the main bank. Silver Bank able to solve or stop these interruptions and crime with help of authorities and made a step to fix the manipulated ATM. In my opinion, I think the response that had been taken by Silver Bank is not really appropriate because it's more like a reactive rather than the proactive action. An appropriate security system of ATM could prevent and minimize this damage that had been faced by Silver Bank. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good day to Doctor and all my fellow friends. My name is Ahmad Najmi bin Honifo with matric number J185, and I will continue the presentation by present the Silver Bank response to the cyber attack in September 2020 cyber attack. On the fateful morning in September 2020, the Silver Bank response to Ramirez, which is the Chief Operation Manager of Diamond Security Corporations, to finalize the installation specification for Silver Bank security system when he observed that the bank computer screen had turned blue and all the staff appeared to be very uneasy because they could not access any of the information since Silver Bank did not have the most recent and cutting-edge IT security system due to the Silver Bank had not invested in any IT security system to begin with. Following the catastrophic, management recognized the need of ongoing changes to safeguard customer information due to new recruiting risks that neither legislation nor regulator can keep up with. Soon afterward, the bank board of directors requested that Diamond Security evaluate all the bank system and provide an estimate for the cost of securing those systems. According to the Diamond Security evaluations, these are the Silverbank internal network that needed to be updated. Number one is the personal information security system. Number two is impediment to data breach. And third one, anti-warfare firewall. And last but not least, web security. All of these provide as a basis for system improvement and compliance to ISO 27001 requirement. A regular assessment and updating for the Business Continuity Plan, BCP, and Disaster Recovery Plan, DRP, was required in light of the various attack type and trend. To sum up, the Board of Directors of Cyberbank finally come up to the agreement with Diamond Security following a financial assessment in which the comprehensive cyber security system was given up to 20 million US with the negotiated 40% to 20% reduction. Thus, the project overall cost climbed by 50% higher than initial agreed upon price for the basic security system because the project itself complexity and needed to complete in less than 8 months. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
I will present about the analysis of the Silver Bank Business Continuity Plan. For the strategy and busy plan of the Silver Bank, first they hold loyalty campaign to clients that come from various sectors. Next, strategy is to expand the bank vision with investing more in IT department. In the busy plan, they also implementing new security system and keep improving the security system so they align with the current legalization and regulatory standard international. The other strategy is to give out training and program of awareness about cybercrime to the employee. For the suggestion made by the Diamond Security, first, they suggest to make a new role, which is Chief Information Security Officer, who will responsible for develop security plan, monitor the usage of the security resources, and develop risk mitigation strategy. Next, Diamond Security suggests to implement the ISO 27001 to keep up with the international security standard to keep the personal information secure. The challenge that faced in order to execute this basic plan is to keep the board of directors on board toward the importance of the new vision and investing in IT development. The next challenge is the lack of people that specialize in cybersecurity area in the Silverbank organization. The next is opportunity. Opportunity that we find throughout this busy plan is the opportunity to strengthen the relationship toward the Silverbank and the Diamond Security. Besides, there is the opportunity for the Diamond Security to gather security system information due to the past cyber attack that they handle. The last opportunity is the opportunity to guess the move of the cyber attack due to the past experience of the worker on the Diamond Security. For overall, the previous busy plan of civil security is not effective as they do not include security system in their plan. Busy plan recently is focused more on maintaining the client trust toward the bank and keeping the security system up to date. Thank you.
Ultimately, we can all agree upon the danger of cyber attacks and the danger they possess, in which cybersecurity is one of, if not the most important type of security in our day-to-day operation. So the risks that have been identified in this case study is reputational risk, data security risk, cyber risk, and financial risk alongside others. Now, after the tragedy of the global severe cyber attacks, the trajectory of growth for the majority of institutions have been either halted, transitioned, or shifted towards prioritizing their IT security. That's all from us. Thank you.